is asking has two important aspects. One is asking must include a state of vulnerability on your part. Because if that vulnerability is not there, and if you're completely impregnable, invulnerable, you will be like a sealed room. Khalil Gibran, in one of his books, says, let the wall crack that a little light may come in. Okay? Even the wall needs to be a little vulnerable. Sometimes we think that invulnerability is our advantage. No, it is the logic of our poverty and our disability in the intellectual world. We must be willingly, gladly vulnerable. And what stands in the way of this redeeming vulnerability is our ego. Ego is a kind of exoskeleton. You know, what exoskeletons are? Creatures that have their shells around them. Or covering them, like the tortoise. The tortoise, which has a very hard shell, right? Or as Shakespeare says, a tortoise goes around carrying its house with itself. Complete invulnerability, but there is nothing called complete invulnerability. Okay? It's only a relative term. This is the first part, the willingness to be vulnerable for the sake of receiving something, right? The second part of asking a question is, this openness to the other is being as close as possible to the essence of the other. In other words, you must accept the other. If you don't accept the other and you ask questions, your asking will be like pelting the stone. Okay? When do you pelt stones? When you throw stones, you reject the other, right? Okay? But when you ask, you accept the other. That's the difference between the two. The difference between throwing and asking is the difference between rejection and acceptance. You can't, in honesty, ask without the willingness to accept, which is absurd, right? But these things happen. That's why I'm trying to make it as simple and obvious to you as is humanly possible. I cannot make these things any simpler than what I am doing at the moment. Okay? If you don't understand anything, please let me know. Because we've come here to clarify certain things. Let me give you an illustration here. Suppose there is a masterpiece hung there. A masterpiece by Leonardo da Vinci or Raphael or Titian or whatever. And one of you is an amateur artist, right? So you come sit there, looking at this masterpiece, you try to copy it, right? And then having